Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more of the absolutely amazing survival series of the races, or race survival series. All right, this is week number 5. I really hope that you guys have been enjoying it. I know we've been having a ton of these lately. I might start breaking it up and doing some stuff in between these weeks, but please do let me know in the comments about that. I would really appreciate it. Then there's one other thing that I actually really need feedback more than that. I've adjusted the audio slightly for this week. So I got a little bit of feedback on things not being loud enough, like in-game, compared to my voice. So yeah, please do leave a comment and let me know if you like the voice balance, voice to, I guess, sound effect balance for this week. Do let me know, please. And, yeah, please realize that there is a lag time. I record these in batches, so. Anyways, here we go, guys. It's week number 5, and you can take a look in that bottom right corner at what we have as far as players. For Team Terran, we have JYJ, Sock, and Speed. For Team Protoss, we have Tyson, Ruin, and Mighty. And for Team Zerg, we have Soma, MisO, and Yabsab. This is a very, very strong week. I mean, I think JYJ, absolutely a top 4 Terran right now. Sock, a lot of people put him 5th, 6th, around there. Speed, up and coming, still very, very strong. For the Protoss lineup, it's all the guys that are really playing strongly now, but aren't big names. Tyson, Ruin, and Mighty. And then for Zerg, it's pretty ridiculous. Like, MisO's been doing fantastic in the Race Survival series. Soma, of course, is Soma. So that's like, he's the best player this week by miles. Okay. So we're on Neo Sylphid, this first match. As you can see, it's Ruin, one of my favorite new Protoss players. Although new in StarCraft 1 terms is like 10 years. MisO, you know, obviously MisO, like I just mentioned, has been doing very well overall in this survival series. So we're going to see if he continues that here against Ruin. Honestly, I'm leaning towards Ruin for this game. Ruin, like, I feel like I'm starting to get some bias. I've casted so many of his... I guess I've casted just as many MisO games, but really, Ruin is, like, showing so many great plays, and he's so on top of the current meta that, yeah, I'm just excited every time I get to cast one of these, so... Yeah, that's kind of my prediction, but we'll see. Probe staying alive very easily. MisO going around to the 3rd base location. For that 3rd hatch, choosing this high ground. That's a pretty standard location in Zerg vs. Protoss to go ahead and take a little bit further away from your opponent. Plus, so easy to SimCity that and really make it basically invincible against attacks. At least until the extreme late game, where if you're getting that base broke, you're generally dead. Alright, so back at Ruin's base, we have a cannon coming up, gas as well. Zealot does get started now. That is the first sellout on the way, so as the probe gets pushed back, yeah, he's got to keep this alive. Oh, wow, that's actually a significant amount of lings. That was a nice double back there. So it's like 10 lings, I want to say? Let's see. Yeah, so that right there, well, we see 9 coming up here, but there's 10 lings on the map. And I don't know that they're going to get any damage. I mean, that's a pretty significant amount of lings, right? 10 lings out roaming the map right now. More than 10 now. We're up to like 14 lings. Oh my god. Yeah, he made a lot of lings. Hydralisk Den on the way as well. The probe is still alive though. So this game, I think it's going to be fast and furious no matter what happens. Oh my god, MisO trying to break through. Probes come over to help block this bottom, and uh-oh, those lings absolutely not doing what they needed to do. Killing like 2 probes and losing quite a few. And, I mean, the fact that the probe is still alive, like, getting some scouting intel, obviously Hydras are going to be on the way, but I don't believe Ruin knows that quite yet. But certainly, we'll need to see a bunch of cannons go up for him. In fact, it looks like he's getting ready for one right now. And you notice the drone goes over to block. MisO does not want him knowing. If he sees the Hydralisk Den, the game is, like, close to over. I wouldn't say it's 100% over, but, like, you're not going to take damage. And already there's been a lot of sacrifice of economy here for MisO. So the Zealot's going to continue to try to put some pressure on. The Stargate is on the way. So, I mean, he could pop out a Corsair and go scout rather quickly. But is that going to be quick enough to stop incoming Hydras? Because, like, I think it's pretty soon we're going to see Hydras popping out. Like, the speed is almost done here. He is droning a few more drones, so it's actually kind of funny. Like, I guess that slows the rush just slightly, but he's getting a reasonable economy behind it, so I think he may be able to transition out of it. But we shall see exactly how many he ends up making. Another cannon on the way. The Ling's still out on the map. Hydra's starting to pop. And here's a Corsair taking down that first Overlord. So that is going to cause a supply block, which is an issue, obviously. Hydra's coming up. The Corsair will be able to scout these relatively quickly as well. Okay, he's trying to pick that off. Okay, so now you know Hydras are on the way. We've got to see a lot of cannons go up immediately. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he even cancels some of the probes and whatnot. Just get a bunch of them down. Okay, going up to 4 right this second. And actually starts another gateway in the main base. So he feels like 4 plus his Zealots are enough for right now. Interesting. Does cancel the +1 attack. Realizing he does not really need that, nor is it going to finish anyways. Corsair's flying in for a little bit more scouting intel. But there goes the Forge. There is a backup Forge being made in the main base, but not done quite yet. I'm a little bit nervous right now for Ruin. Did he under-prepare for this with just 4 cannons? I mean, if that's exactly the right amount, I'm going to be very impressed. That's a ballsy thing to not make more cannons than that. Okay, the probes come out to the front. The Zealots in a nice line. They block all the Lings very, very well. And I guess the Hydras haven't done anything yet, that's for sure. More Hydras are coming across. They do have their range upgrade now as well. 2 more cannons being added. Is this going to be a perfect hold? Look at this. He's scouting in. He sees the macro hatchery. He sees that it's still Hydralisks being hatched, so he knows that that drone economy is still very, very low. Another cannon on the way. So going up to 7 right now, adding that second pylon. By the way, I did notice in some previous videos, people were questioning and talking to each other about why not target down the cannon, or the pylon, when there's this many cannons. And someone actually answered correctly, so I didn't feel like I needed to, but I will address this now. It has a lot more health, as you can see, 3 times more than a cannon. Plus, you have to walk further to get it. So all the cannons will be firing the whole time. So it's a huge amount of damage output. Yeah, you'd be surprised. And obviously, if a second pylon is like being made anywhere nearby, you're basically dead for even trying. So yeah, a lot of the times, or most of the time in StarCraft 1, you want to target cannons down. And pick those off as quickly as possible, because it reduces the incoming damage each cannon you kill. Plus, you're not taking damage from every single cannon while you do it. Okay, this is a lot of Hydras. This is such a serious amount of Hydras here, and a lot of cannons are being made, more gateways being added, lots of Zealots coming up. Legs are going to be done. So legs being done allows the Zealots to actually close on top of the Hydras very quickly. So the Hydras are not going to be able to grossly out-micro these Zealots, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Plus, there's so many cannons. Look at that, even another one coming up. Okay, here we go. Rush is in now. The Zealots coming up. Probes being drilled as well. Ruin taking this attack very seriously indeed. More Hydras still rallying up. And are we going to see a hold here, or is MisO going to break through? All the Zealots do evaporate. Some more coming out of the gates now. Probes continue to fight and body block, and look at that. We still have 6 cannons left over. What a hold right there. But MisO is not done. He's continuing to pump out those Hydras. He reduced the Zealot count quite significantly. He killed off some cannons. Damaged this one very badly, so that will be killed off pretty quickly in the next attack. But all these Zealots coming out of the gateways are going to basically refill what was missing. And he's down 20 workers right now. So MisO, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him to try to end this game right now. It's hard to imagine this going into a long, drawn-out macro game. It would have to be the weirdest thing where, like, he kills almost all the probes here, and then they both kind of just back off of each other. Stranger things have happened, but yeah, I think that this is going to get decided by this attack. Here we go, coming in once again with these big groups of Hydras. The Zealots come out to fight, some probes being pulled as well. Another cannon going to be finishing up. So we are up to a solid 8 cannons right now. The cannon's doing an absolutely fantastic job. A few probes here and there dying. He did end up losing 5 probes during that. and all of his Zealots. But now we're going to have Psystorm. Look at this. Psystorm is about to finish, and he already has one High Templar that has it ready. So, yeah, this is Ruin's victory. I can't imagine him ending up falling here, right? There's the storm. Oof. MisO has to be hurting now, knowing he has to cut through the storms as well as the cannons. The Corsairs, both of them still alive. Looks like they've killed a total of 4 Overlords now. Looks like some Lings rallying up as well. See if that's going to be very useful for him. Of course, as Zealots pop out with that +1 attack that they already have, the Zerglings are going to be absolutely shredded. Or even just the cannon plus Zealot hit. All right, here we go. MisO pulling the trigger once again, getting in on top of these cannons. And, well, those are some great Psystorms. And you can see this Hydralisk count just getting absolutely destroyed. Twice the supply right now for Ruin over MisO. Not what you want to see as a Zerg. It's a funny place to make an Archon. It's going to be quite displaced when it's done morphing. But yeah, adding the Archon in here just to have a little bit more muscle. I tell you, it's like, it looks like Ruin is just holding each time, but it feels also like he's getting further and further ahead with each attack. Right? Like, MisO is... If Ruin hadn't taken this so seriously, and perhaps even at the beginning if he had taken it too seriously, he may have died to this Hydralisk push. But at this point, his economy is really kicking in. 45 probes is very healthy on 2 bases. And, I mean, he's just got a lot producing. Look at this. Adding a couple more gates as well. So it's going to be 8 gateways of Zealot, High Templar, and Archon thrown in the mix for good luck. And, yeah, MisO does not have much going on. MisO has re-droned a little bit, right? He was on 22 drones for most of that push. And now he's kind of catching up, but that means, of course, that he's not producing other units, Hydralisks and whatnot. So that is a little bit problematic, no doubt. Ruin getting ready to take a 3rd base. Not sure he's going to need it, honestly. It's like an okay SimCity, but 4 Hydras in a Sunken does not stop 120 supply Protoss army. Little group of flanking Hydras trying to come in here and maybe get a little bit of damage. Not sure that that's going to end up working either. MisO on his last legs as Ruin starts to come in. Zealots pushing forward into these Sunkens. The flank comes up. Great storm there on these Hydras down in the natural. The High Templars getting up in the front as the rest of them get chased back. Storms onto those drones as well, hurting that already brittle economy of MisO. Archon's being made as he runs out of storms, and the Zealot's going to get on top of these Hydras as well. And it just doesn't look like there's really anything left here for MisO. Ruin should be taking this game number 1 in week number 5 with some very solid cheese defense and just kind of holding on with this counter push to finish the game off. Very, very clean play here from Ruin. GG! Ruin wins game 1.